It's no secret that Skyrim is a vast game with many different ways to play. There are 18 skills, 10 joinable factions, and 10 playable races. Each race has initial bonuses that help get the player rolling, whether they want to play as an orc for the warrior boosts, a high elf for the magic boosts, or an Argonian for the, what bonuses did Argonians get again? Let's see here. His skin for health recovery, okay. 50% resistance to disease, water breathing, a higher base unarmed damage, alright. For skills, they get +5 to alteration restoration, okay, not bad. +5 to light armor, pickpocket, sneak, alright, cool. I could work in a thief build here. And +10 to lockpicking? The skill that's completely useless once you level it enough? Really? So if you haven't read the title, today's run is going to be a pure Argonian run. What that means is I'm not allowed to gain experience in any skill that isn't already boosted by Argonian. So the 6 skills I mentioned before, that's all I get. Also, I am allowed to use pretty much anything else in the playthrough like powers and active effects and standing stones, and of course shouts. I won't be using anything else. No followers, no pets, no weapons, no shields, no scrolls or staves, no crafting, no transformations like werewolf and vampire lord, and no giant exploits until a certain point. We won't be wrong warping or using buckets to 9 3/4 at Thalmor Embassy today, sadly. And if you haven't figured it out yet, barter also increases the speech skill, so we can't trade with merchants at all. And also, we'll be playing on legendary difficulty, as with all the challenge runs. So, without further ado, let's answer the question.
Who are you?
Of course, since we're a humanoid lizard, you know what we're gonna name him, it's right there, come on. The resemblance is uncanny.
Next, the lizard!
See, even the captain agrees. Look, another lizard! My brethren, you saved me. Ah, I guess not all lizards are created equal, huh?
Bye, have a great time!
Using Raloff as bait, we're able to fight through the first couple of encounters. Just gotta make sure we're equipping only the light armor. Thankfully, we can use our lockpicking to open these cages and get this novice hood for later. Magic is definitely a big friend in this run. In fact, you could argue it's the only friend towards the end, but we'll get there. Oh boy, big fight. Having a small army helps though. So for most enemies, we're gonna really need to make sure I'm bobbing and weaving as much as possible. The less damage taken, the better. We can't exactly dish it out at the current moment. This is a bit testy, but thankfully it pays off. By the way, I get 0 experience from actually dealing damage this run, so that's fun. Now the run can start walking. I take the Mage Stone to boost my magic skill experience, very important for getting levels early. So here's the dilemma. Trading with merchants trains the speech skill, so we're gonna need to steal. This run has no room for my moral compass. Pit stop by the Shrine of Talos for any supplies I can pick up. Ooh, that's an interesting mechanic. So if I'm casting a continuous spell, the damage from my punch applies twice. I feel like those anime characters that punch so fast it looks like a single punch hit multiple times. Todd gave us anime powers this run. Rolling up to Anissa's house, stealing everything I can. Oh shoot, Anise caught me. Can't let her live, she knows too much.
Fool. Know my secret. You need to learn some manners.
Hey, level up. She was an old crone anyway, who's gonna miss an old lady in the woods? Time to start leveling up pickpocket. Girder, you won't believe this, an old lady just tried to kill me. How hilarious is that? As with every Skyrim run, you know we have to ruin Sven's chances for romance. Using pickpocketing, we can start stealing from the local residents as well. And that ring of minor deft hands is crazy luck. Solid pickpocketing boost. Oops. Thankfully Hilda lets me go, but Alvor is not playing today. Oh no. If there's one thing I know, it's that Nords can't swim. Feindal, quick! Camilla hates Sven. You're welcome. Save me, please! Apparently I'm not the only one who thinks Alvor is overreacting a little bit. Well, held the turntables. The people of Riverwood just opt a lifelong friend in favor of a brand new newcomer who I guess they don't know yet just because he was trying to kill me. They didn't even ask if it was a good reason or not. And the crazy thing is Hilda, the old lady, knows I just tried to pickpocket. That is crazy. Well, time to rob his house.
What can I do for you, friend?
The utter state of Alvor's marriage. She's practically thanking me. He won't be needing these anymore. Mind if I use this, Sigrid? Wait, no, I didn't mean to grab that. Please, I don't want this.
You're kind of place here.
Look, I know I ended your husband, but that's no reason to be racist. Bro, she is on a mission. She's going to build a wall around Riverwood after this, which, funny enough, is an actual insult from the guards to Riverwood. Those poor sods don't even have a wall. You know, that one. Come on, we can talk about this. He had a really convincing argument, it turns out.
Must have run off.
Well, I'm an Argonian, time to act my own race. Swimming is the best way to travel to Whiterun, no contest at all. I feel like a little fish. The local produce is definitely going to come in handy here for some food later. We make it to the Whiterun gate where I choose the convenient dialogue option that persuades without persuading. It's actually really cool that Todd gave us the option to not gain experience here. Again, not allowed to trade because speech experience, but we can try stealing. Hey, another lockpicking level. There's pickpocketing light fingers 2 for 40% extra pickpocketing chance. Now we can get really serious about pickpocketing. We're pretty much just looking for free gold or equipment we can use along the way since we can't buy anything. There's some gold from a strongbox. Not exactly hidden, is it? Nothing against cooking a lot of different foods. Time to win over Isolde while she's here. So I'm completely visible from here, but no one ever said I couldn't borrow it. Just think of it as long-term borrowing. Forever. And because, again, I don't plan my playthroughs that well, let's head to the Hall of the Dead. I rob Anders blind. Not as blind as he looks. At least I got experience for it. Fun fact, if you raise then lower your weapons, in this case my fists, you can usually get out of any danger from committing crimes. He decides to let me live long enough for me to accept his quest. But now we have the living dead who are not living but undead to make dead again. Or not living. That's a lot of damage. One skeleton down, and a level up. Didn't mean to power attack there, and that's my life. Let's try this again. One down. Alright, this guy is really dangerous. Level up to heal. 1 point to stealth for now. Going to take a trade here. Finally done. Just a small taste of later with how long that took. There's the amulet. Alright, there you go, Anders. Your stupid amulet I should have kept for myself in hindsight. Just going to continue stealing.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
This is awkward. Well, I don't want to pay him, so off to jail for me. Let me just unlock the grate. There are my belongings. Well, this is awkward. Let me go ahead and exit to the barracks here. And I mean, while we're here, I guess we could get some goods. Shut up, shut up, shut up, just let me back there. Nice stuff you got here in your pockets. So the jail is actually up near Dragon's Reach, just around back to the left here. Here we are, these are the chests we need. Kinda hard to be hidden in full view here. Pickpocket the key from the guard. Still not hidden, huh? I mean, I'm already in the jail. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, I guess that one's just kosher and allowed for free. While the other one is still considered crime, though. I just put this right here. Master of Shadows here. Alright, more crime. Oh, great. Well, at least I don't need a lockpick here anymore. As you can see, I've offloaded some equipment here a few times, but back on the straight and narrow. As I'm telling y'all brawling the news, I can't help but notice. Palace has some nice things just laying around, you know? Could be put to good use. Farengar sends us to Bleak Falls Barrow. We get around to giving Isolde the mammoth tusk and... oh, my speech just increased. I'm actually just so used to marrying Isolde off the rip that it didn't click that the level up happened until I watched the footage back and I was already much further ahead with the video. So I guess that's the run invalidated. Not like it's gonna help me in any way aside from an easy to access house, which I could have gotten from pretty much anyone else. Let's just pretend we didn't see that, okay? Dislike the video if it ruins the video for you. I'll understand. And for the rest of you, just make sure you like and subscribe so you can counteract the killjoys who took me seriously just then. But really, honest mistake. Hope it doesn't ruin the run. Alright, that's enough yapping. Off to Riften. I can't go through the front door because that's a speech experience gain. Shut up! I know I made a mistake 5 seconds ago. Just shut it, please. Through the Blackbriar Meadery. Pickpocket the head honcho.
Think you could steal from me?
Get sent to jail. There doesn't seem to be a dungeon to sneak through. What if I just poke my head out? Oh, Big Bertha was not playing today. I think I'll just pay the bounty this time.
Smart man.
Now to get my items back. I wonder if bribes give speech experience. Looks like it does. Let's try this strategy again. Bowl over the head and pickpocket the key. Bertha, please don't kill me. I'm just grabbing my stuff, please. Listen, if you think about it, you stole it from me. Just because I stole it from other people doesn't mean you can steal my things. I mean, you're guilty too, okay? Next, I encounter Brynjolf to join the Thieves Guild. Let me just plant Medesi's ring. Now through the Ratway. I'll just run past them this time. Okay, got the expert shortcut door. Jesus, this place is the worst. Okay, in the Ragged Flagon. I don't think I was followed. I accept the hired muscle job from Brynjolf, but I have to make it through the Ratway again. Somehow managed to get the drop on the lowlife. There's the bridge down, and through this door is Gion the Fist to get the gloves of the pugilist. Those traps hit us both pretty hard, but Gion hits pretty hard too. He one-shots me at half health. That is crazy. What if I lure him into the Ragged Flagon with all my Thieves Guild friends? I guess he didn't follow me through. He's caught up with fighting a skeever from the Anniversary Edition. There we go. Come on up. Guys, I found his weakness. Really thin vines. This is great. Got what I came for. Gloves of the Pugilist. Gives 10 extra damage to unarmed strikes, which, funny enough, is our greatest source of damage for the literal rest of the playthrough, until we get some other things. For easily repeatable physical damage, this is the best it gets. I'm just gonna let you use your imagination to figure out what this does to a legendary dragon. This is what we call foreshadowing. With that done, it's time to exit the Ratway. Speaking of rats, Draff is still hanging around here. And he still has fire arrows. Trying to find him doesn't exactly go very well, I have to be honest. Maybe I could make a run for it? Well, that actually went way better than I thought. Time to bully Helga. Might as well take a little something for myself too. Bully Bercy, and finally Burry Kirava.
Look, everything was all just a misunderstanding.
Alright, now to try my luck against Draff again. Oh, let me out! I'm starting to think fighting him is a no-go. Okay, still alive here. I think I'm in the clear. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. And no one from the Thieves Guild wants to help either. Not even the literal guard they have stationed outside. Maul is the better brother and it's not even close. Just gonna take a peep here. Well, damn. I kid you not, he kept me pinned here for like 10 minutes. He even managed to get himself behind the counter somehow. Bro, the reposition. Brynjolf, please help me, dude. Please. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I have an idea. Maybe I can get him on the frames he takes to go through the door. Just gotta make him miss. Okay, that was a one-time thing. He's too quick for it to be reliable. New plan. Since characters turn slowly while aiming bows, I'm gonna try to out-circle him. No fucking way. That actually worked. Turns out the first real boss of the playthrough is a lowly archer from the Ratway. Who knew? Finally, welcome to the Thieves Guild by Mercer Frey.
Welcome to the Thieves Guild.
So, around the Thieves Guild, there are a lot of armor pieces I can take advantage of. 30% fire-resistant boots, Thieves Guild gloves, Thieves Guild hood, boots, armor. The boots especially are nice for pickpocketing success rate. That dwarven armor would be nice if I could equip heavy armor. Oh well. Damn, not a bad haul from the Master Practice chest, actually. Alteration ring and frost resist boots. Now to get on that training grind. I can use Viper the Fleet for pickpocketing experience, and the best part is I can steal the gold back to cycle through training. Well, it's 0%. I got caught, but the cool thing about the Thieves Guild is that they'll never attack you for a failed pickpocket attempt. You just need to reset the detection after 2 days or so. Cut Purse is such a convenient perk for this scenario. You know, for aesthetics, not the worst armor combo. So there's actually a little pickpocketing trick here in the Thieves Guild. You can put a reasonable amount of coin into Mercer's inventory, then pickpocket it back for 90%, and just keep leveling up the pickpocketing skill. I literally did this all the way to 100 pickpocketing. That's within 3 hours of the playthrough starting for me. I decided to just max out the perks and not make the skill legendary. I figured it would be a bit too cheesy for this far in the playthrough. I'll be doing similar stuff in the late game though. Turns out the Priest of Talos over here, Nura, has a pretty cool little resist fire necklace I can use. That's a boost of 15% too, so not bad. That's pretty much the name of the game for early on. Stealing decent gear since, you know, can't exactly buy it with the restrictions in place. Sorry fellow thief, you got caught. Gotta keep up appearances. Even Maven Blackbriar isn't immune to my antics. Too bad she doesn't carry hardly anything on her person. But now it's time to focus on... Now that I'm decently looted, it's time to focus on the alteration skill. 100 Alteration gives us the Alteration Master and Atronach perks, which are crucial for this playthrough, covering both 80% physical damage negation and 30% spell absorption respectively. I can head to Redwater Den, strip the guard of his clothes, sneak behind the counter to grab Backroom's key, and head to the cell to the right to grab the Telekinesis Spell Tome. No merchant required. See, I do learn from my previous runs. Thanks for the comments. Now with my Alteration Ring, I can really make use of Telekinesis and start power leveling Alteration. Now a visit to Mara Mall from the Temple of Mara, a visit to my partner in crime. See what I did there? Because she's a drug dealer, and she also invalidated my run. She did that, not me. She could have kept her speech lessons to herself. One marriage ceremony later, and now I have a free house. Now I just have to cast Telekinesis repeatedly and wait an hour to get my magicka back. 40 minutes later in the playthrough, and that's 100 Alteration, just like that. There's Master Alteration, and the Atronach perk. Now I can really start playing the game. Now to head to Winterhold so I can go to the college for a huge upgrade. Oh, she needs a Flame Atronach for the entry, huh? I guess it's a good thing I can just reload the save for a different spell requirement. Ah, Healing Hands from the Restoration School of Magic. Much better. Well within my restrictions. This might not seem like much, but mark my words, you will be seeing more of this Lesser Ward spell. It's actually pretty handy that it's classified under the Restoration School of Magic, so I can actually use it. Now for the real reason I came here. For the Alteration Ritual spell, I need to go fetch a dagger called Kavazine's Fang from one of 6 dungeons, and then slay a dragon to collect heart scales for the spell tome for Dragonhide, which is a spell that provides the maximum physical damage negation of 80%. This looks like it's at Highgate Ruins, which of course has a dragon priest in it. That's going to be a bit of a challenge due to the magic damage, so I have some things to do first. First, I meet with this twisted child so I can control X this waste of space. Oh, my lovely Nord wife has given her scaly Argonian husband a book to read. Oh, it's a Nord propaganda piece in support of the guy who keeps the Argonian people of Windhelm out in the cold in the docks with no entry into the city. Except for me, for some reason. Thanks, I guess, dear wife. But anyway, I go to sleep and wake up in this dump so I can serve our mistress and revoke the access rights of the extras in this room. And damn, they have some pipes on them. On the way to the sanctuary, I pick a fight with a necromage, and with the help of his skin, it's actually not too bad of a fight, surprisingly enough.
No more! I yield!
Oh no.
A new hand.
Get out of my head!
I will make you the instrument of my cleansing light.
Yeah, I doubt it. Can't even wield her sword in this playthrough. Holy audio balancing. I grab some armor, then learn the first word of power for the Mark for Death shout. Next to power level Sneak. I basically just sneak into this pillar. I find an item in real life to jam my left stick on my controller to the left, and literally about 5 hours later of exclusively walking into a wall on a weekend, I reach Sneak level 100. So now I can take Shadow Warrior for super sneaky tweaky tactics, and there's some points for 5 stealth for good measure. Now to make my way to Morthal, because I have 2 stops to make. One being the Hall of the Vigilant, so I can grab some Novice Robes of Alteration, which is another 12% reduction to Alteration spells, and 50% extra Magicka regen. And so I can grab the Lord Stone for 25% magic resistance and 50 armor rating. Now you may be wondering, why magic resist when you can get spell absorption from the Atronach Stone? The reason being is spell absorption, which is a percentage chance to block all magic effects and absorb their magicka, while magic resist actually cuts down on the damage taken. Since my spell absorption from the Atronach Stone and the Atronach perk total to 80%, that leaves a small opening for magic damage to nail me for a lot of health. So at this point in the playthrough, it's a little safer to take magic resistance. So that should be 55% magic resistance between the Lord Stone and the magic resistance perk from the Alteration skill tree. Now it's time to nab the special dragon scale carving dagger.
What do you want, lizard?
And I have this charming lady to help us out. I call this move the Pooper Scooper. And Anska is useful for these Draugr enemies that have a bit more health. All I gotta say is thank the Hist I can still use restoration spells. About 3 minutes later we finally managed to put down the Draugr Scourge. 10 minutes after that we make it to the throne room with one straggler giving Anska a hard time. A few supplies just hanging around. No Anska, wrong direction! Crap, the door's open now with the Dragon Priest. Now we gotta deal with both of them. Damn, that's some tough damage. Okay, Anska, I'll handle the Draugr, you take the Dragon Priest. Just gotta bob and weave. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Okay, the Dragon Priest is not occupied. Thanks for nothing, Anska. Do your job, you idiot. Sheesh, that was close. Probably should equip my fire resistance boots and necklace now. There we go. The damage is much more manageable. Yes, finally got him down. Please die. Please die. Please die. Oh, finally. One thing left to do here. Just gotta make sure I heal through all the damage. Speaking of which, this is a really good time for my His Skin racial power. The damage is a little rough. Mind if I take a lunch break? Okay, so he's been in this animation for the past 30 seconds. Oh shoot, that's close. Interesting interaction going on here. I'm healing to full slowly but surely, and the 30% spell absorption chance is restoring my magicka from his frost cloak. I've somehow managed to make a healing engine out of sheer circumstance. And as luck would have it, he seems stuck in this animation, and I can heal while punching at the same time, which again somehow hits him twice for 2 regular punches worth of damage, so I'm kind of making decent progress here. Just a solid minute's worth of punching over and over again for the win. Holy hiss. I think he was just overwhelmed by the sheer embarrassment of getting punched to death by a mere mortal. I can't even shout yet at this point in the playthrough either, so that just makes it even better. Now that is a nice mask. 20% alteration reduction. That's the dagger I'm looking for. Now to head to Bleak Falls Barrow so I can start hunting dragons for the Dragonhide spell. That's that ancient Nord wisdom I've always heard about. Fun fact, I get 0 experience by dealing damage with my fists yet again, so taking fights actually has 0 benefit to me. I'll just run past the spider, thank you very much. I'll just let the Draugr get him. That's about what I expected. He should have just lived up to the name and ran. There's the Golden Claw. Man, 100 sneak is no joke. I can clear just about any dungeon with this. They'll never see me coming. There's the Hall of Stories. There's the Word of Power. And our sleepy little friend here is having none of my sneak tactics. Ooh, and he's got Frost Breath. Not good for us. Bobbing and weaving against a two-handed weapon is a bit more tedious than one-handed just because of the reach, and the attacks can still come out quickly. If it's a power attack, might as well just forget about it. So yeah, this fight takes a while by itself. Oh, that range isn't good. What? Heavy armor? Wait a second. No, you gotta be kidding me. That's heavy armor. Well, thank God I'm not a lawyer because I missed that fine print for days. Alright, guess I gotta reload the quick save. I'll take care of that previous experience gain later. Alright, getting close to beating this guy at least. That's it, getting closer. He's down, he's down. Damn it, my damage is so low. No, he's running away. Okay, he's down again. Yes! Oh my lord, it's finally done! There's the Dragonstone. I return to Whiterun and punch a guard to get sent to jail, sleep away my experience gain, steal my stolen items back, and there we go, it's as if it's never happened. Kind of a bummer that it's heavy armor, I never would have guessed it. I report back to Sovngarde with the Dragonstone, and get on the Jarl's last nerve to the point where he sends me with some guards to go fight a dragon. And here he comes. Now the thought process here is to watch the physical damage I take from Mjolnir to see what I can tolerate and get in punches where I can. It's actually not too bad to be honest, all things considered. Damn, that reach on the bite is crazy. So remember how Tolfdir taught me Lesser Ward for the College of Winterhold? It turns out it is the perfect tool to block every single point of damage from dragon shouts, including fire and frost, and others that you'll see later. But for the most part, this is how the fight goes at the Watchtower. Punch, dodge to the side when he tries to bite, and just swarm during the openings. And there it is. Okay, let's get some heart scales. Hello? You've got to be kidding me. So I checked UESP after the fact, and apparently this specifically doesn't work with Mirmolnir or Krozula from the Dragonborn DLC. That is just my luck, isn't it? After lamenting my foiled plans, I report my victory to Jarl Balgruuf, but I'm not satisfied quite yet. I need heart scales. To take care of two birds with one stone, I ride to Autumnwatch Tower, which is the site of a Word of Power from Mark for Death, and a Frost Dragon. Waking up the dragon and getting the Word of Power is the easy part. Beating it is obviously the hard part, especially when it hits like a truck like that. But the cool thing is there is an Imperial military camp right next to the Dragon Lair, and we can use them to help us fight. Okay then. Turns out it can one-shot me with physical damage, so we'll need to keep our distance. Looks like the dragon decided to take a detour and raid the local bandit camp. Greedy bastard. Okay, it's back now. As long as the High Elf Legate can keep the aggro, we'll be alright. He is considered an essential NPC and can't actually die in a fight, so he's very useful. All things considered, we're making some good progress here. And by the way, this video does not do justice to how long each and every fight is for this build, especially bosses and dragons. It takes at least 10 minutes each. Man, I love having a small army of fellow slayers around. Okay, looks like we have him pinned in this clearing. Things are looking up. Ah, shoot, that might be the last soldier I have that's alive. Yeah, not good. Alright, third try and everyone's gone. I can't get in close because he'll one-shot me instantly, and I only have a tier 1 unrelenting force shout to fight with. Plus, Mr. High Elf Legate guy is down. Every now and again, the Legate will regenerate enough health to continue the fight, but he goes down pretty quick. He is my only hope here. If the aggro's on him, the dragon won't try and kill me. I'll tell you what, the Healing Hand spell is getting some work put in right now. Okay. Oh boy! This fight is just insane. So insane that the dragon literally has whittled down over the course of 7 minutes and nabs me from behind a tree. You have no idea how demoralizing this is, man. Okay, I think my best bet is to just keep the Legate alive and let him tank. It's all I got. Damn, he just doesn't last long, does he? Okay, now what? Maybe I can just hide and regenerate my magicka? Okay, we're good. Okay, not good. He regenerated so much health, holy crap. Oh, for the love of... I'm just gonna stay detected and wait it out, I think. Oh, and now we have wolves? Man, this game is really just trying my patience, isn't it? Okay, here we go. He's getting healed. We're getting there. Damn, we're just so close. Just finish the job, Legate. Holy shit, we did it right as the Legate went down. Oh my god, that fight took over an hour long. I'm so done with dragons, man. Give me those stupid heart scales. Halfdir, you have no idea the amount of trouble getting these scales was, dude. Okay, so the base cost is 248 magicka for 80% physical damage negation. So after the ring and robes equipped, it's 188, which is going to be tough for longer fights. 45 seconds with the stability perk, and I'd really like to be able to dual cast it. I'm nowhere near that right now. I decided it'd be good if we explore Saarthal, and if nothing else, I can loot the Galdar Amulet Fragment for the magicka boost we'll get. How about a little bob and weave? There we go. Thank you very much. Ooh, the Amulet of Talos is actually a sleeper good grab. It'll be very useful later. Now that the Saarthal quest is done, we can go into the Archmage's quarters and steal these boots, which give a whopping 40% shock resistance. Very nice grab for now. Now that we have quite a bit of damage negation, let's continue the main quest at High Hrothgar. I'm not gonna lie, I find the voice for an Argonian's voice being the same as a Nord's a bit jarring and out of place. The Greybeards teach me a useless second word of power, and a very useful word in Morrowind Sprint. Now to go get the old men a horn of another old man. Interesting choice of quest item there, Bethesda. But now that we've done that, we have the perfect place to level up our restoration skill. Going to make sure we have the Mage Stone selected again. Get the Lover's Comfort effect for a total of 35% better experience gain. Oh boy, I probably should have seen the cultists coming. Please, just leave me alone. Okay, the lead guy followed me under the bridge. Now for the backup guy. Ah, beautiful. Now I'll pick the fight with you. All things considered, he goes down pretty quickly. Alright, very good. I have my ticket to Solstheim now. There we go, that is 70 restoration, and there's the training for level 75. Oh boy. Good thing we're at the literal best place in the world for dragon attacks. Master mages, no innocent civilians, no problems. Well, I guess we do still need to worry about Dragon Breath. At least we have Mirabelle helping us this time. It's a little tedious, but I definitely need lesser ward up for the Frost. Dodge to the side for the bite attacks. Now we have more participants. There we go, Jazargo. Find a place to reapply the Dragon Hide, and get back to it. Some minutes later, we finally get some good progress going, and the lizard fells the lizard. Thank you for the soul, brother. Second word of Mark for Death. And for the last stop, the Forsaken Cave. Just gotta sneak past the enemies, slowly and silently. Okay, maybe not so silently. Okay, here we are in the final room. There's the final word of Mark for Death. That's a lot of enemies. Just gotta make sure I split them and fight with advantage. That's one down. Gonna grab the white file really quickly. You know what? I don't really get any benefits from fights here. Let's get out of here. Made it to the Nightgate Inn. I think that's far enough. Let's get us another Dragon Soul before heading for the Dragonborn DLC. There he is. That's it. Just follow me. Oh, beautiful. We have some teammates. That's it. Right this way. It took a while, but it's all part of the plan. Brother, you are breathing frost on a woolly mammoth. Just stay put, buddy. Me and the giant will take care of you. Ah, welcome back to the fray, buddy. Bob and weave, bob and weave. This is a problem. I misread that. Yep, I'm dead. Let's try that again with mammoths this time. There we go, mammoth for the win, baby. Now up the layer. Ooh, nice upgrade. Alright, let's continue with the main quest at Ustengrav. There we go. Gonna try to be quick. Nice little addition with Become Ethereal. That'll help with cliffs and nasty situations. Get past the sprint puzzle, sprint past the spiders, grab the note. One last loot for, ooh, a Resist Frost necklace. Quick check on the mage that was fighting earlier, and oh my god, Mage Light. This is going to be so useful later, you guys have no idea. Back in Riverwood, I rent the attic room.
We don't have an attic room.
You know, for a Dragonborn, I kind of do look like I'm related to the dragons. I grab the mage backpack from the inn chest, which gives me 20 more magicka. And now for the most insane thing I've heard in a while.
Dragons aren't just coming back. They're coming back to life.
Before I go any further, I want to make sure I go back to the Lordstone for the magic resistance and armor rating, head to High Hrothgar, learn how to say yes in Russian, and prepare to get screamed at by old men for power.
Prepare yourself.
Alright, let's head to Kyne's Grove to fight a dragon. I apply my Dragon Hide spell, apply Mark for Death, activate his skin for the health regen. Alright, looks like I'll need the fire resist. Alright, lesser ward for the Dragon Breath, and I'll have at it. Honestly, the damage is not that bad, relatively speaking. Now he's grounded. Time to finish the job. And 5.5 minutes is the time for this dragon fight. And I'm going to need that extra dragon soul for later. I'm going to need this frost dragon too. I have a giant and some mammoths to help me out. About 7 minutes later, that's another dragon soul. Definitely want to make sure I grab Frost Breath for a special effect I'll elaborate later. For now, we have a voyage to make. Off to Solstheim for...
This is Morrowind, not Skyrim.
Well damn, I guess I'm playing the wrong game. So the plan is to progress the Dragonborn quest line. I'm on a hunt for a very specific effect. I meet up with Freya, and we power our way through the dungeon. We get the first word of dragon aspect, and after a long and drawn out fight against the gatekeeper, I get to the black book and get sucked in. And there's our main man.
You have no idea of the true power a Dragonborn can wield.
Oh, it's not like I could use it anyway. I get sent out by the Reddit mods and head to the first word of the Ben Will shout. There's the word, and I ain't got no time for that. I meet with the village shaman who sends me to the Windstone to free his people. Easier said than done. The damage the lurker does is noteworthy, and I'm not hitting him clean like I normally would. Oh boy, my Dragonhide just expired, and that is a lot of damage. Gonna make sure that's taken care of. Well, Unrelenting Force did literally nothing, so I can only really damage the lurker by punching it in the butt. My short-range punches and the hitbox of the lurker won't really allow for anything else. This is kinda awkward. So 3 minutes after starting this fight, the lurker is sliding down the hill and is healing like crazy. I won't be able to keep up if I'm not punching the whole time. Another 2 minutes later, and the lurker has pretty much slain all the villagers, and I'm left holding the bag. Okay, let's try the north wind power from the stone. Wow, that might be the worst frost damage I've ever seen in my entire life. Alright, well, the lurker is at full health now. This is kinda demoralizing. I reloaded to give it a second try with all the villagers at once, but this is as far as I got after 9 straight minutes of fighting. Yeah, that's about all I got. I decided to go ahead and just use the Ben Will shout to free the people, but unfortunately defeating the lurker is a required step of this quest. There's nothing preventing me from cleansing all the stones though. So after freeing all the stones and running away, my brain hatches an idea. I can activate all the powers from the stones at once and get some good damage off. And summon a werebear to help me out. Unfortunately, the werebear just stands there menacingly and then disappears after its 60 seconds of watching me struggle are done. Great freaking power, Todd. Thanks a lot.
And again, it just works.
While trying to get some space between me and the lurker, I noticed that it maintains its aggro and keeps trying to follow me. It wouldn't follow me all the way across the island, would it? Surely not, right? There ain't no way. I even managed to lure it to the bandit camp outside of Raven Rock, and somehow it followed my lead all the way down the volcanic stone, past Captain Veleth, and straight up to the Raven Rock gates. My mind was absolutely blown by this. And the guards are absolutely on it. These guys do not play around, and they are the most competent guard in Skyrim from what I can tell. And even a second lurker that joined the fight is no match for this small army of soldiers. There's one down. And there's the other in no time at all. That is a big jug of Sujamma, well earned, gentlemen. Or gentlemer, or whatever dark elves like to be called. Back to the Skull Village, we report our victory since the death of the lurker is all Storn cares about really, and it's time to start making final preparations for the Mirak fight. I head back to High Hrothgar to get 95 restoration, and hunt down restoration books in Morthal, Ustengrav, Valiant's house in Morthal again, the Frozen Hearth Cellar in Winterhold, and the Temple of Kynareth for 100 restoration. Now for a ride to Solitude, to finally make use of the Mage Light spell I found earlier in Ustengrav. So I'm going to make the alteration skill legendary, and equip Mage Light in both hands. If you come up to this spot, aim right here at the mountain and wait until it's dark, you can spam Mage Light over and over and gain experience as soon as the Mage Light hits the top of this mountain. This is an incredibly fast way to level Alteration if you don't have 0 magicka cost from enchantments, and it will get you to level 100 in no time. This is pretty much the end game of this build, and I'm pretty happy with reaching level 7. Now to visit Neloth and get ready to find another black book in a dwarven ruin named Nechardak. During the fight outside of Nechardak, it's at this point that I realize I still can't dual cast Dragonhide to get double time on the armor cap for a minute and a half. Quick reminder that I can't become a vampire in this playthrough because I am a pure Argonian. No Daedric filth in these veins. Anyway, I take the next 14 minutes to take out all the bandits as Nelloth catches up. After which I make sure to collect the 3 pieces of the Deathbrand armor that I can actually equip for my build. I head back to the mainland to finally grab the Atronach stone to make it an 80% chance to absorb spells. Again, no Necromage to boost this to 100 this time. And now it's time to boost my magicka even more for the dual cast. I get up to level 73, which turns out to be just enough for me to dual cast and get a minute and a half on Dragonhide. Now back to Nechardak to head in with Nelloth. And I won't waste your time here, it's just a bunch of me running around gathering cubes, draining water, and reading the Forbidden Twilight series. Such a gripping story. Hermaeus Mora says hello, but we have a dungeon to delve. It's pretty much just me running past enemies and going chapter to chapter as quickly as possible. We reach the end and meet with the Daedric Lord of Sexual Assault.
Come to me.
And he teaches me the art of gaslighting for the second word of the Ben Will Shout, telling me he needs the legendary snowberry recipes of the Skull Village before dipping. Finally able to read in peace, I select the Dragonborn Frost ability, which essentially makes my Frost Breath a better version of Ice Form. On the way out of the Dwarven Ruin, the sky is looking very green for some reason. Maybe old Hormamora forgot to turn out the lights? Anyway, now we have a dragon to fight. All things considered, it actually goes very well since Nelloth is such a powerful ally. It only took us about 5 minutes to take down this dragon, which, trust me, is way faster than normal. Unfortunately, the prick shows up and steals the soul, so we're -1 on souls we need. In the business, we call this foreshadowing. Knowing that I need 2 additional dragon souls for the last word of the Ben Will Shout and an extra soul for Frost Breath, I traveled to the mainland to begin my dragon hunting. And let me tell you, it nearly made me go insane. To save you the pain of what I experienced, I will just call out the time it took to fell a dragon and what the result was. The first frost dragon took me 10 minutes, and because it's a dragon spawn that I killed before, it decided to glitch out and not give me a soul. I decided not to console command the soul because someone would have been butthurt in the comments, I'm sure. You guys win this one. The second dragon I encountered on the road in Whiterun while Alduin was resurrecting it, and a Khajiit caravan even joined in the fight. The dragon still took 7.5 minutes to defeat, and thankfully this soul was absorbed with no issue. Next, I traveled to Mount Anthor to encounter a revered dragon, the second to strongest variant. Now the issue with this guy, aside from being really strong, is he knows the Drain Vitality Shout, which absolutely punches through spell absorption and is a very annoying debuff to deal with. Knowing this, I lured the dragon out to the open world where he picked a fight with local wildlife, and after 3.5 minutes of dominating the food chain, I was on my own again. I then lured him to the town of Winterhold, where he spent the next 13 minutes hanging out on roofs and ending the grand total of 2 guards on duty that day. And then he finally came to the College of Winterhold, where Arniel Gain and myself managed to whittle down its health bit by bit until it falls. Then motherfucker shows up and steals the damn soul. That's 30 minutes total of fighting this dragon for nothing.
You get nothing!
I hate everything. Returning to Autumnwatch Tower, I used the help of Frost Trolls to slay this Frost Dragon. 6 minutes for this dragon. Guess what though? Yep, it's glitched. No soul here.
You lose!
Next, I Skyrim climbed my way to this dragon lair at Skyborn Altar, and 2 enemy mages decide they'd also like to die today. This one took 12 minutes to defeat, and wouldn't you know it, Dickfish decided to show up. Need I remind you, he has a 25% chance of stealing your dragon soul. So yeah, my luck is fucking terrible right now.
Do you ever want to have us ripped out of that?
Man, I don't need to wonder. It's happening right now, and yes, it fucking hurts. Next, we have this dragon at Sheer Point. At this point, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I just want this to be the last one. I do get some help from the local shitposters, and also the giants. So after about 8 minutes of fighting, the dragon is defeated. Oh my god, the soul is mine! I'm finally free! Oh my god, you have no idea how good that feels. Freya is still tweaking over here. Hermaeus Mora learns how to fish on a frozen lake, and damn, he carved the word of power on Storn's chest. That is cold, man. Oh boy, here I go reading again. I take control of one of Mirek's dragons. Is it really a summit if it's a tall building? I thought summits had to be the top of mountains or hills. We wouldn't call the Empire State Building the summit of New York City, would we? So editing OSK here. Not the Empire State Building, but there is actually a skyscraper called Summit 1 Vanderbilt in New York City, and it looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't even know this was here. It's pretty cool. And I promise I did not plan that. I had no idea that a building existed until now. I'm not going to pretend like I stand a chance here, but I know who does. Yep, that's right. Turns out you can climb back onto Sarautar to fight Miraak for you. I won't say he's a world beater or anything like that, but he doesn't do horribly. He does fall eventually though, after about 5 minutes of fighting, and Miraak absorbs his soul. Wait, Miraak absorbed his soul. Normally, he would heal off a dragon's soul after reaching a certain point. That gives me an idea. Hahaha, it's the master plan! Yep, that's right, you can steal all his dragons and have them self-delete into Miraak to skip all of his phases. That is a crazy little fight hack I had no idea existed. Now for the real fight. As you can imagine, this goes on for quite a bit. So the cool thing is that my 80% spell absorption chance more often than not just saps his magicka from a spark spell for my healing spell to stay up, which again allows for 2 hits at once from punching. As I back Miraak into a corner, everything seems to be going well. That is until... What? Yep, I couldn't believe it either. Turns out that Miraak has both the healing and fast healing spells in his arsenal, and that is a problem. Eventually, I was able to nudge him off the side of the arena, and he fell to his death.
Did you truly think you were rid of me so easily?
Is what I would like to say. This motherfucker just spawns in the middle of the arena again. We're left with no choice. We have to reduce his health to 0. Obviously, easier said than done. So here's the deal. I'm always hitting him with Mark for Death so that he has health and armor draining, but the rate is not nearly enough to make up the difference here. You might be wondering about Frost Breath and my Dragonborn Frost upgrade freezing him in place. Well, I forgot to mention that I tried this earlier and it didn't work. So that extra Dragon Soul was for nothing. It's like a broken record at this point. I thought that by repeatedly reducing his health down, eventually Bethesda's spaghetti Skyrim code would miss a trigger at 15% health or so, and Miraak wouldn't heal. Little did I know how close I was to the truth of that. But like it or not, I was sadly done with this fight. Is what I would say if I didn't have a plan. Surely Skyrim is too buggy to stop me here. I gather all available offensive powers from the Allmaker stones, reboard my dragon, and now it's time to retry. Okay, here we go. I need to time my powers right as I see his hand switch spells. Damn, it didn't work. Ah, didn't see him switch that time. Okay, here we go. North Wind. Sunflare. Okay, we're past the threshold, I think. No, the effect wore off. Just keep dealing damage. Heal with potions. I can't stop here. Keep it going. Oh my god. Oh my god, we finally did it. We finally did it! I saw the healing spell come out right at the end. Jesus, that was so close to not working, but it did. Holy shit. I feel so vindicated right now, guys. It's crazy. The Miraak mask is light armor because my light armor level is higher than my heavy armor level, obviously. But wait, it's missing the boots. The robes only grant 15% spell absorption by themselves. How could Bethesda literally glitch the boots off of Miraak? How is that even possible? Good thing we play on PC. And there we go, problem solved. Now we have 100% spell absorption without Necromage. And we have new Unsettling Drip with a Lizard Tail to boot. Let's get a few more levels. I'm just showing you this fight from Felglow Keep from the College of Winterhold questline to show you where I got these sweet ass robes from. 22% less magicka to cast alteration spells. And by the way, it took me about 11 minutes to slay this legendary dragon at the college with some help from Mirabelle. We'll have a much more impactful fight later, don't worry. And by the way, I got the focusing crystal in Mizulf to change shape with my frost breath, but only one time. I couldn't get a second one to work, so that's kind of a bummer. And I didn't want to wield Frostbite because that felt against the spirit of the run to wield a destruction spell. In a similar way, I also thought about getting the third word for Dragon Aspect, but that would require me wielding the Bloodskull Blade, which I don't think would fit with the spirit of the run either, so I skip it on second thought. Let's just go ahead and get ready for... Now it's time to start the Dawnguard DLC. Now I could show every second of every fight in this DLC, but we'd be here all day probably, so I'm going to give you the cliff notes. I offer myself to the Mistress Within, and now we're friends forever. It's too bad Delphine wouldn't allow her to break into the embassy with me. Thankfully High Elves are tall and skinny, so physical beatings work pretty well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Mirai's robes give you a passive effect where each time you're hit, you have a small chance to spawn tentacles that damage nearby enemies. It's really good for the damage of this build that I had no idea existed until after I got it. They stood no chance against my Eldritch Horrors. Distractions aside, Harkon manages to punch through my 100% spell absorption and teleports me to outside of his castle. This spell will never be brought up again. Some Skyrim veterans may be asking, OSK, why don't you ever use the Sunfire spell in the Restoration skill? Isn't it on a bookshelf in the Dawnguard? If you have the unofficial Skyrim patch, then yes, it is. But if you're in vanilla Skyrim, it's way down here, right in Bethesda Bug Prison. I won't be using it since it's unreachable normally, even if it is because of a bug. But I hear you ask, didn't you console command your boots that bugged out? Shut up. Never happened. After recruiting these bunch of jokers for the Dawnguard, Serana decides to take herself, a vampire, to the den of vampire hunters. Quite the decision making there. I beat an old man's ass so hard he decides to read an Elder Scroll for me, which leads us to the Soul Cairn, where Valerica speaks out against our love. I know it's dysfunctional, but we make it work. The fight against the Keepers is pretty simple. Just shout Mark for Death at them, lure them into an open area, freeze them with Frost Breath, and repeat for 10 minutes each. He just couldn't handle the embarrassment. 1 down, 2 down, and this one's a bit easier. Now for the big scary undead death dragon of doom and death again. Durnavir's big gimmick is that he summons a bunch of skellies around the arena that chase after you, Serana and Valerica. They're not just ordinary skeletons either. These are beefed up and will take longer to defeat. So yes, while I could take 5 minutes to defeat them, that's a literal 5 minutes, and it's not quick at all. It is much easier to lure them to either Serana or Valerica while I focus on the dragon. By the way, I found a unique mechanic for this run. If you have 100% spell absorption and the level 100 sneak effect that turns you invisible, you, well, absorb, that is in air quotes here, the invisibility effect. This isn't much, but the extra magicka you regenerate from doing this does add up and save time. So if you see me teabagging in the middle of a fight, that's why. It takes me a while, but after 15 minutes, the dragon boss is defeated. There's the Blood Elder Scroll, and now back to the land of the living. So we can visit Sectimus Cygnus and be on our way to find the last Elder Scroll. A hop, skip, and a jump away lies a petty squabble. Not interested today though. Remember, in this playthrough, fights have no value to me unless I would like to get hit to increase my light armor skill. No thanks. There's that last Elder Scroll. Come on, Serana, we haven't got all day. I think the mushrooms are getting to me. I think I'm going crazy. Is that a snow elf? Yep, I must be high because dragons can swim now, I guess. And I'm seeing double. Good thing I have full spell absorption. Now, if you watched my previous run, you'd know that the Drained Vitality Shout is one of the few things that can punch through my spell absorption, and it's quite inconvenient. I have something to deal with that, but looking back through the footage, I guess I forgot about it in this specific fight. You know, floating dragons defying the laws of physics. Just another day in Skyrim. At least I can still punch them. What the f*** is this, dude? This was 2011 gaming. Look what they took from us. Bob and weave the bites, and 23 minutes later, we have 2 dead dragons. The sheer amount of time each fight takes is the main factor for how long this video took to make, by the way. At least this one's pretty quick.
That'll teach you.
Damn, he got a bounce off of that. One last ugly face to beat with my fists. Funny enough, the challenge isn't really with Harkon since I absorb all the spells. The main issue is Serana. When she gets between myself and Harkon, or when Harkon aggroes her, she can be the target of his life drain spell, which not only damages her, but heals Harkon, making this fight take longer and longer. I can easily win out in a battle of attrition as long as I'm paying attention, but these little mental battles are everything in this playthrough. Just one atom of health after another. I can do this. Serana, don't do it. You really let him heal that much? Finally, 20 minutes to get phase 1 down. Now we just have an army of skellies to deal with. These stronger skeletons will be great for Serana to raise back. Turns out you don't even need Ariel's bow to defeat Harkon. He just regenerates and then you can beat him down again. I actually prefer if he swaps to his grounded form because he does so little damage and there's no risk of him healing either. Alright, cool. Phase 2. Alright, we have gargoyles this time. At least it's the weaker variant. Phase 3. We have some gray on gray violence occurring on 5th Avenue, or Night Terror versus Night Terror. This bit is just getting worse. Yeah, there we go, baby. Holy crap, there's a phase 4? I'm gonna need a beer after this. I don't think he's enjoying the cold shoulder that much. Oh my god, what have I done? What the hell is happening? I thought Skyrim was breaking me, but how the turntables? Alright, that's the last one. Please don't let there be a phase 5. He may be resistant to frost, but he's not resistant to staggers. Just a little more. Bats are good, right? Hey, there we go. One vampire lord down. Your undead ass took me 40 minutes to take down.
Of course, if you've got any more adventures planned.
I don't think they'll involve you. One last major storyline to complete. I go fetch Esbern.
Go away!
But Esbern, I have tendies.
You'd better come in then.
What's an evil-looking dragonborn among a heartfelt reunion that's among friends? I offered my lizard blood at Skyhaven Temple to make the giant Prometheus-looking head fold back in on itself, but no aliens in here, but the resemblance is uncanny. Arngir teaches me how to control the weather, and I meet my lizard brethren.
Drem Yolok, greetings.
I start the conversation with a touch of fire damage, and end it with some good reading of forbidden knowledge. That took a turn. I learned the draconic existential crisis shout. Apparently being forced to contemplate morality makes dragons unable to fly, which is interesting to say the least. How exactly would that work on birds, I wonder? Truth be told, Alduin is one of the easier dragon fights in the game, and he still takes 12 minutes to sit down. Yeah, sit down, my new pet of damnation. This angle goes kinda hard, not gonna lie. Oh, Alduin, you ruined the shot. We'll meet again. For now, I conduct a peace council, but kick the Thalmor out because f*** the Thalmor. Honestly, her ilk are probably the whole reason this whole civil war is a thing.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
Yes, please, Arngir, without delay. I swing over to Dragon's Reach to capture a dragon, which goes flawlessly. There we go.
I've been looking for you.
Man, these couriers will really just show up anytime, won't they? After a brief chat, Odahviing takes me to Skuldolphin, where it's time to go fast. After sneaking through the dungeon, there's only one fight that's actually required here. By the way, dragon priests have no physical attacks to worry about, so it's really just a time sink for how long it takes me to punch him to death. Again. Undeath. Can the undead die again? Once he bites his own dust, I open the sealed door, rush past another dragon priest, and now I'm in Nord Heaven, otherwise known as Argonian Hell. I wonder if there are any docks they'll keep me in outside the main city in this place.
It's been too long since last I faced a doom-driven hero of the Dragon Hunt.
I knew the tail was a dead giveaway. Though this fight's a little rough for this build, I basically need to kite around and nail him with fire breath every chance I get before retreating and healing, because even with Dragonhide, he still hits like a truck. Eventually I whittle down his health just enough for me to be permitted entry into the meat hall. I fought dirty, brother. I expected Ysgramor to be taller, I'm not gonna lie. All it takes for these Nords to accompany you to fight a draconic abomination eater of timelines is to promise them glory and song. I can appreciate their simple ways. Once Alduin appears, all we need to do is shout him down and participate in the beatdown. The heroes of old take the aggro, and I can just spend the time interrupting his actions with shouts and punching away at his wing. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Later in the fight, Alduin does turn his attention to me, but I've been around the block a few times. And around the jaws. Haha, jokes. Those jokes are funny. What's funnier is Alduin thinks he can damage me with fire. Okay, I'll stop. And what felt like an hour later, but was really only about 2 minutes, he finally sits down for the last time. Wait, gotta get a good angle, Alduin. A Dragon Lord reduced to PS1 style graphics. I feel the same way after this run, honestly.
Your fate lies elsewhere.
As the old god said, my fate lies elsewhere. So one of the premises of this run was to create a pure Argonian who could solo a dragon, and a legendary dragon at that. I have uploaded the footage of this in an unlisted video that I will link in the description if you'd like to see the full fight. It is long. The fight basically consists of me sidestepping most every bite from this dragon to avoid physical damage, stealing away every so often to reapply my dragon hide, and occasionally swapping in the lesser ward, yes, the same lesser ward from Tolfdir, to block the Drain Vitality Shout. A reminder, it can punch through literal full spell absorption, but it can't bypass a lesser ward. Todd, I need answers. Michael Kirkbride, I need lore. Anyway, this is pretty much the whole fight. If you want to see the full unedited fight as proof, it's in the description. Next on my list is the Ebony Warrior. Just shout him down a few times. And tuck him in for the night.
At last. Sovngarde.
And come on, we can't leave out Karstag. Just gotta clean his room a little bit. I'm going to summon Durnevere for this one because I have no idea how this is going to go. Alright, Dragonhide. And here we go. So first things first, he hits like a damn truck, even at the armor cap. That is very apparent. I'm hoping that Durnevere's minions will be enough to damage him and distract him for me to damage him slowly over time. But this is the fight 3 minutes later, and look at his health. This is a problem. I went out of the arena after multiple tries to learn Soul Tear from Durnevere, thinking that it will do enough damage to make a difference. Normally, this is supposed to damage an enemy for 300 points, which on Legendary is 75 because of the quarter damage nerf. Watch what it does to Karstag. That is a whopping 1 tick of health, guys. But wait, it gets better. Watch his health. And the damage is gone. Turns out Karstag has some abilities, 2 of which are Fortified Healing and Fortified Combat Healing. That results in Karstag healing 0.3% or 12 health points per 1 second, in addition to having 4,000 max health. That is freaking insane and is well above what I can dish out consistently. I was honestly about to call it quits on this challenge. I even bent the will of a serpentine dragon nearby to help with the fight, but it didn't really do much. I ended up trying to slaughter the entire guard of Ravenrock because of how amazing they were at slaughtering 2 lurkers at the same time. This alone took me 30 minutes of leading them up and knocking them down. I then went and got the Ritual Stone and revived all of them to make a small army of thralls. I mean, just look at them go. Unfortunately, transport was kind of an issue. I couldn't fast travel because they just disappear for some reason. The nav mesh of Solstheim apparently won't let them go off this obviously intended path to the north of Mirak's temple, so thanks Todd again. They apparently can't cross rivers either. So after an hour of trying to wrangle them all up, I kind of just gave up the ghost. So here's the deal. I know that this is possible with enough time. I know it is, but it is time that I do not have for this video. So we're going to do this instead. Given enough time, I know I can get 10 Redoran guards up to this ledge, so I'm going to spawn them up here and, you know, take care of business. I also spawn in a lot of Staff of Fireballs. Can I find them organically in the game world? Yes. How long would it take? Too damn long. So if we pretend like I physically drugged the bodies here and had 20 Staff of Fireballs from tens of hours of extra gameplay, and then planted 2 staffs on each guard, and then raised them up with the Ritual Stone, we should have a small army of fireball spitting warriors ready to slay a legendary spectral frost giant. And that's exactly what we get. Oh my god, look at how glorious the army of OSK. Look at how they smite the foe in front of them. Oh my god. And By the way, I didn't come up with this idea. The video I got this from is down in the description. Make sure you like and subscribe, ring the bell for my next upload in 2 years, and please comment below what you'd like to see next. I got this idea from some viewers of the channel, so your idea might be next. Thank you all for watching, and that is one cook giant.